Welcome to Warrior Work. I'm Coach Hill, and today we're going to be sharing with you some flexible weapon basics. I would teach these in my Tai Chi classes actually for 7th through 12th graders, and it's a great basic right brain, left brain exercise. We're going to start by using a jump rope, because a jump rope is a little bit more user friendly. I have had students chart with chain whips, and they found that they've cut their legs, cut their head, cracked their head. So jump ropes much more friendly. And the first basic exercise is a downward X. Now downward X, it's also called an infinity 8. We basically just do a downward X in the air, and you want to be able to do it with holding the rope with both hands, and you want to be able to take it with your right hand, and you want to be able to take it with your left hand. The downward X is actually a pretty easy movement for most people. Again, if you thought about an infinity 8, you have your downward X, circle on the side, downward X, circle on the side, downward X. And so that's what makes it an infinity 8. And again, it's a nice, easy movement. Okay, it's a continuous motion, developing flow, and we can do it with the rope, and we can do it with just our hands, two hands, like we're holding a ball. You can actually put a ruler in your hands. Becomes a Tai Chi ruler, or a larger ball, different size ball. The key is that it helps your hands to stay equidistant apart while you're doing your movement, and again, you're developing flow and fluidity. The upward X is a little more challenging. Probably about 90% of students grades 7 through 12 cannot do the upward X initially. When they're crossing from one side to the other side, it's like there's a switch in their brain, and they flip back to the downward X instead of doing an upward X. Also, it's very common with the upward X for them to be actually hitting the back of their legs, to be hitting themselves in the back of the head. So it's a great, again, right brain, left brain exercise, and a great martial arts basic all around. Now the upward X, when we're doing that, I'm going to show you briefly again the downward X from the side. Okay? When we want to change direction, we can actually change direction very easily by just letting the hand drop and the hand come up. So you can see I'm pointing with my hand, just letting the rope die. So now I'm actually moving into an upward X, and my rope is going upwards. It's very interesting how kids, students of all ages actually get very confused by what's up and what's down when they start swinging a jump rope or a chain whip. Again, if I let my arm stretch out, now it's going down. So I'm referencing the direction to what's in front of me, and I'm calling this 12 o'clock. So I'm going down at 12, but I'm actually going up at 6. That's a very important distinction. So down at 12, up at 6. And again, all I do to change direction is I want to extend my elbow and my arm out, let it die, and then change direction. So now it's going up. Now, this circle on the side of my body is very important, because if I'm going from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock with this weapon, it's going to make the transition very easier. When I taught the Soup Kwan staff form or the Kempo coordination, when we talk about those downward X's, we're talking about how it's important to be doing the same thing when you're holding the staff. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, so when it comes down, I'm coming down at 12, coming over, and coming up over here, 6, down at 12, so you have that same kind of movement, because if the staff is going out, or the rope is going out towards 4:30, 5 o'clock, when it comes back, it's going to clip you in the back of the leg. So again, very important that we're going 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So I'm going up at 12, and I'm going down at 6. I'm going to turn my waist, like in the exercise swaying tree, and that's going to allow me to do my upward X, okay? And my upward X actually stays in front of me. Again, it's that infinity 8, okay? So again, if I do it without, it's up, circle, and I've actually had students that have had so much trouble with this, I've actually given them a piece of paper, and I have them actually draw the upward X, the infinity 8, on a piece of paper, or on a bulletin board, like a whiteboard in front of them. And even then, a lot of times they'll be doing it, and their brain will switch, and they'll start doing the downwards. Or they just cannot do that upward X for some reason. So again, it's a good right brain, left brain exercise. So again, I'm starting with my upward in the front, circle on the side. I cut up and I cut up, cut up and cut up. Again, I can do two hands. It's a continuous motion. When I want to switch, I want to make sure, okay, so again, I'm keeping this in front of me right now for the most part, and I'm actually allowed to go to those 45s. But when I want to change direction, I need to shift it to this 12 and 6 o'clock position, okay? So I can allow it to shoot out, 12 and 6. That makes for an easy transition back to the downward X. When I want to shift position, again, I go to my 12 and 6, and then I allow it to shoot out. So it's coming along my body, so I'm not clipping myself. And then I shift back to my upwards. And again, at that point in time, they can actually be coming out a little bit more to the side. Okay. It's usually in the transition, you can see from the downward or the upwards, when I was doing the upwards, you saw that shift. What I did, I'm doing my upwards, and I'm going to let it flip out from underneath my elbow. My elbow actually kind of leads it on that forward shoot, okay? So again, when I'm changing directions, I'm always going to this upward, downward. So I can turn to the back wall, and you can see the same thing. I'm actually going to let the elbow lead, and then throw the hand out. On this side, the elbow leads very gently, but then again, I throw the hand out. So I'm doing my upwards to 6 o'clock, and 12 o'clock was facing the camera. I'm going to change direction. 12 and 6, turn, 12 and 6. Now I'm doing this with the feet together right now, okay? But ultimately I'm going to be able to do it walking as well. So again, I let it shoot to 6, and I shift to 12. Again, the circle's coming alongside my body. Now, I'm going to shift my circles to where I'm in a square stance facing you, downwards, so that this is again 12 o'clock reference point, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So my downward is now going to 9, my upward is going to 3. And so I'm going to turn my waist into a basic cat stance and do my upwards to 3 o'clock. And I'm going to turn back to square, circle going in front of me, turn my waist to 9 o'clock, downwards going over here. Going to turn the waist, circle in front of me, upwards, circle, and downwards. Upwards and downwards, circle, downwards. Okay. You can also use, so we talked about letting the rope, throwing the rope out, okay, letting it die in each direction. You can also catch it and pull it out, extend it, or you can let it wrap around your arm. Okay. Some nice basics where we circle above the head, and then we just let it wrap around the arm. The arm will actually slow it down in its progression. So when I want to slow it down, I want to go from a fast speed. I'm just going to let it come out, go with a longer stroke in my movement, let it circle around, and let it wrap around my body and die off on that end position. Okay? Now, when you switch to a chain whip, okay, the whip has got different numbers of links in it. It's got a spike on the end. So again, if you start with something like this, or with a meteor hammer on the end, for instance, a lot of times we'll use paracords with tennis balls. This will cut you, and it will cut your head, and it will open your head up. So generally not something really to be recommended to start. Okay, again, downward, upward. What I want to do now is after you're progressing from just your downward and upwards, changing your direction, and the ribbon on the end, so you can see it, because it becomes such a fast moving weapon that it becomes hard to see. What I want to do is after I become comfortable with the downwards and the upwards in position, then I want to be able to be comfortable changing from right, upwards, to left, downwards, or vice versa, okay? Then I want to be able to become comfortable with walking with the movement. It's generally easiest to turn, and you want to walk with the downward movement first, okay? So I'm walking with the downward movement, and then whenever I want to change direction, I'm going to stop, do my circles, and I'm going to change direction. I'm going to walk in the other direction. I can change from my right side to my left side, because now I'm facing the 6 o'clock position. my downwards, change, and now my upwards. Again, the chain whip, interesting weapon because it's about 10% technique and about 90% practice. So again, something you just have to do and do and do. From the back position, again you can see the circling, and how we wrap it around. Circle, wrap, circle, wrap. When you get comfortable with that, you can then step with your right foot, step with your left foot, wrap. Into a reverse bow stance. Circle, if you watch the weapons form, you'll see the same kind of motion with the sword. So again, just circle it, wrap, circle, wrap. You can add a jump to it, either direction, add a little more speed. You can even allow it to wrap around your waist, like a belt. So again, start with the jump rope, downwards, upwards. Work your right brain, left brain. If you find it frustrating or challenging, initially with those upwards, just have a good laugh. Just keep working until you get it. Remember the key points, Circle goes next to your body. X's are in front of you. When you change directions, or again, initially you want that circle next to your body. You can actually initially do it like this, where you actually go upwards, circle, get that upward next to your body, upwards, circle next to the body, upwards, circle next to the body. Again, you want to be able to do right hand, left hand. And again, when I go to the front, when I change directions, I'm going to let my elbows shoot out and the hands shoot out. Going to the back, let the elbow lead, the hand lead. And then it dies on its own. Basics, there's a great saying in the martial arts that says, there are no advanced techniques, there are only advanced basics. So when you work your basics over and over and over again, and you get those down very, very well, that's the step to mastery. Effort and practice is the path to mastery. Relying on secret techniques will get you nowhere. Thank you for joining us for Warrior Work. I'm Coach Hill. We'll see you next time.